that working okay? Oh, yes it is. Fantastic. Hello, welcome. This is, sorry, I haven't seen people to talk to in front of for like 2 years. So apologies if I'm a little bit... so hello, welcome to the talk about the library and the Learning Enhancement team. So I'm Jane Helgeson from the library, and this is my colleague.
I'm Zoe Jonas from the Learning Enhancement team.
And we're going to take the next sort of 20 minutes, maybe half an hour or so, to talk to you a little bit about that. But more importantly, welcome to the UEA. How is your week going so far? I hope it's okay. Yeah, fantastic. Well, at least it's sunny today. Yay! Always makes things much nicer here at the A. So I guess one of the important things that we as a group kind of work around is thinking about you developing as a learner, and that's a key aspect of the team and what you're going to get out of being at university. And the library and the Learning Enhancement team can help you do this. So I'm going to outline first of all what the library can do to help you developing as a learner, and then Zoe's obviously going to take over to talk about learning enhancement. And we'll make sure that we've got plenty of time at the end of both sessions for you to ask any questions you might have of either of us. Yay. Cool. So, the library. We're here for your entire time here at the UEA. Hello. So we're here for the whole time that you're at the UEA. You've probably seen the building, and you might even been in it so far. It's the really big building that's just over there, about 6 floors six floors, loads of books and so forth. If you've been up and down any of the floors, you'll see it's mainly book content, but that's only the small part of everything that we've got available. We've obviously got an enormous, what we call the Uea Digital Library. And that's got loads of ebooks, lots of online journals, lots of databases, which are accessible for you free, because obviously we make those available to you. So the best way to get started with that is just go to Google, just search Uea Digital Library, and that will take you to one of our guides, which will start you off with finding out how to get to our pages in My UEA. So if you want to know a bit more about the library, other than just the digital stuff, go into My UEA, and obviously that's the internal websites, and you'll see that on your student profile there'll be a little tab, a little tile that says UEA Library. Click onto that, and you'll obviously through into our library pages, and you'll see that we've got a search box to search for our online content, and there's also a tile there which says how to get started at the library. So pop into that, and that will give you like an online course so that you can find out about how to use our resources, and sort of information about borrowing things from the library, study spaces in the library, how many books you can use, and so forth. So have a rummage around in those web pages and see what else you need to know about using the library. Also, there's an online sort of tour in there, which is like a 360-degree sort of immersive tour. So it kind of gives you a bit of a profile, a preview of kind of where the library help desk is, and how to sort of orientate yourself, where the main staircase is and things like that. So it allows you to sort of orientate yourself to the library before actually stepping into the building. So if you kind of want to sort of know where to go, then do check that out. So you're probably thinking, okay, well, she's talked a little bit about all these 6 floors of books, the digital library, but what about stuff for me and my particular subject? So on the library homepage, you'll see we've got something called subject resources. So if you go into that, that will give you lots of a big list of all of the subjects, main subject areas that we cover here at the UEA. Click into that and you'll find a web page which is being curated by our academic librarians who are in your subject specialists, and they'll have included there the specialist databases, some of the things you might be interested in. So have a rummage around in that and have a little look, and that should help you and a starting point to step off on your subject resources. That's got a little bit of information about the subject librarian themselves, or the academic librarian, and there should be a nice smiley picture of the person, but also just how to get in touch with them. So different people have got different ways, so some people are saying just drop me an email and I'll be in touch with you, or some people have got little drop-in sessions that you can come along to. So each librarian has got a slightly different offering, so just check out on those subject guides which person of the team will be able to help you. Also, of course, we have reading lists for each of your modules and your courses. So you'll be able to find a link from that in your Blackboard course. So if you're already familiar with Blackboard, which is our virtual learning environment, which is where lots of the teaching and your course notes and so forth will be there, you'll also see that there'll be a link to reading list. And that is kind of curated by your academic, but it's got lots of links to reading for you, information about what we've got in the library, whether it's available to borrow, and also links to sort of articles and online content as well, like digitized chapters that your academics have asked us to make available to you. So there's lots of stuff to start immediately kind of getting into what you need to start reading. It will really help you direct your reading so that you kind of don't waste lots of time wandering around in the library thinking, whoa, there's a lot of stuff in here. That will help you with that directed reading to begin with. So that's a little bit about some of the online stuff. But also, of course, you know, we're a really welcome and open building. So do come in to talk to us. We're open 24 hours, 7 days a week. And we're often open on Christmas Day as well, if you really fancy it. So, you know, do come in at any time. So if there are some of you who are on courses where you might be kind of doing placements and things, don't worry about that. We'll be there open on 3 o'clock on a Sunday morning or something like that if you need to come in to us. Our help desk, our library help desk, which is when you go through the main doors, the circular door, just go through there and you'll see through into the main floor there's a library help desk which has got a big green banner around it. That help desk is open all the time, and we're open during office hours, and we're also open at the weekends. So again, if you need to come in at the weekends, there will be library staff in person there to help you. But of course, we recognise that people might want to contact us in other ways. So obviously, we've got a phone number, get in touch with us like that. If you go to any of our portal pages or our My UEA pages, you'll see we've got a little chat thing that pops up. So chat to us. That is actually the people answering those are actual people. It's not a bot, it's honestly. And also, of course, we've got lots of social media. So we've got Insta stuff and Twitter. So do search for us on those. I think it's, and some Facebook stuff. So we've got lots of different ways of obviously getting in touch with us, and you know, choose whichever one is your preferred one. But people often think libraries are a bit boring and a bit staid, and we don't do things and we don't change very much, but we're not like that. We really want to change. We like to do things differently. We like to think about doing new things. So often what we do is, and we try to do things which you might not expect a library to do. So over the last few years, around assessment period, or assessment time, we've run relaxation and mindfulness sessions in the library, just to kind of help you kind of, you know, we recognise that it's a bit of a tricky time, so whilst we provide support around obviously the academic stuff, the books and the resources, we also of course try to help you with kind of like some of those more kind of personal things as well. Also, and this is another reason to follow us on Twitter and Insta, we often have therapy dogs coming in as well. So if you've got a pet dog at home and you really miss them, then keep an eye open on our social media to see when the therapy dog coming in, and they often come in for like half a day or so. So get in the queue for that. We're also, as I said, always looking for ways to improve and change. And this year we're launching a Decolonize the UEA Library campaign, because we recognise that we want to kind of do some work in this area. So what we're asking students to do is suggest books for us to buy to add to our collection. We want to amplify marginalised voices, and we want to diversify our collection. We want to work with you, our community, to help us do that. And we're going to be working on that all year, so keep an eye open, obviously, as I say, on the social media and stuff, and on our pages, and on our homepage you'll see that there's a link to suggest a book, so do have a look at that. So we're also, just finishing on that element, we're also looking at reading lists. So we're working with academic colleagues to diversify reading lists as well. So that's not only just information coming from you, it's also working with academic colleagues. So if you want to talk to us about that, then please do just get in touch with us. We're really interested to hear that. We want students' participation in that. So I think coming to the last thing that I probably are going to do before I hand over to Zoe is I often think, is there one thing that you might want to take away from this session that I'd kind of recommend to you that might be easier for accessing resources, one thing that I would recommend to you to do to make accessing our resources easier? I would say download something called Lean Library. That is a browser plugin that works with all of the main browsers. And it gives you basically a shortcut to accessing all of the stuff that we've got access to, like ebooks, online journal articles. And it's a matter where you're looking at this or have found it. So it doesn't have to be on a web page you've looked at from the UEA library. So if you're using Google Scholar, for example, and you've downloaded this plugin and you're looking at an article and you're thinking, that looks really good, a little pop-up will come up and say, the UEA library's got this, just click here, and it will kind of take you through to accessing the content that we've got access to. So I really would recommend downloading that. It's got loads of other little bits and bobs that will pop up there as well. One last thing, also to let you know that we now share our building with our lovely colleagues from Careers, and so if you come into the library, you'll see there's a library bit and then there's a Careers bit. And I'm sure that they'd love to chat to you about anything you have or questions you want have about Careers here at the UEA. So let me hand over to Zoe, and then we'll take some questions at the end. Cool, thank you.
Thank you, Jane. Oh, scared myself there. I know you can all hear me. Yes, so I'm going to move the slides on. Brilliant. So I'm from the Learning Enhancement team, and we're known as LET. So I expect you're getting used to UEA's obsession with acronyms, and you will hear us called LET. So if people say, oh, you might want to go and speak to LET, or you might want to go and speak to a LET tutor, then they're referring to the Learning Enhancement team. So I'm going to explain to you a little bit about different parts of our team. We're a small, growing and very friendly team, and I want to emphasise the kind of friendliness and approachableness of the team throughout. Unfortunately, I can't tell you that we're open on Christmas Day. We're not, but I'm really pleased to hear about the library being open on Christmas Day. So you'll see from the slide that we've got different ways that you can access us. So on our area of My UEA, you'll find that there are online resources that you can access. They're roughly divided into two main areas: the academic writing and studying, which the kind of support that I deliver, and my colleague Denise, who's sitting at the front as well, and mathematics and statistics. So they kind of divide into two areas, but there are lots of things there: study guides, video, if it's maths, there's maths help sheets and problem sheets and things like that. And we also deliver workshops. You'll see it popping up in the next few weeks, saying hello within your schools of study on various modules, and then we'll come in and give kind of specific workshops, maybe related to certain assessments and so on, that you'll be working towards. Our help desks, I'm going to tell you a little bit more about that right at the end, about the kinds of things we've got going on this semester, but those tend to be generic for all students, and they are more of a kind of a drop-in thing. They're mainly taking place in the Student Union building, which is just behind here this semester. But as I said, I'm going to say a little bit more about that at the end. And I guess what I haven't said already is that we're here for all students. So no matter what course you're studying on, no matter what your level of study, you might be a foundation year student, undergraduate, you might be doing a taught master's, you could be a postgraduate researcher. We're here for all of you. You'll find that there are things that you can access no matter what your level of study. The other thing that's really key is that we offer one-to-one tutorials. So this is a chance for you to meet with one of our tutors and talk through whatever issues you're having around studying and to find some effective strategies that will work for you to kind of try out, to help you to find a solution and to be able to study more effectively. The one-to-one appointments are bookable and they're 50-minute appointments. Over the last little while we've been doing them in Teams, online. We're still offering them online at the moment, but we hope that very soon we'll be able to offer you some face-to-face individual appointments too. So at the moment staff that are on campus are based in the building just on the next level. It's between the Union building and the library. And our face-to-face place, which is going to be called the Student Appointment Centre, is just tucked away in the corner on that same level. So hopefully we'll be offering those appointments really soon. So that's the main kind of way that you can interact with, the ways that you can interact with us. And then as you can see on the screen, and I've kind of mentioned already, divide into two sort of main areas of specialisms, the academic writing and studying. And by that I mean everything kind of related to studying. So how you organise yourself, how you manage to maintain your focus, how you interact with all the brilliant resources that Jane's been telling you about, how you actually effectively read them and how you manage your notes and all of that kind of stuff. And then obviously other colleagues that deal with the mathematical and statistical aspect of your course as well. So as well as that, we have tutors in our team who are experts in supporting students who have specific learning difficulties or differences. And so you can access support from them in the same way through the one-to-one tutorials. And if you wish to explore a diagnosis, a specific learning different difficulties diagnosis, then we have a process for that you can find out all about on our web pages. We also have the English Language Support Programme, the ELSP, and that's available for all students who are non-native speakers of English, and you'll find details of that on the website as well. You'll find that some schools of study have their own specific ELSP programme, whereas there is also a generic programme for students from whatever school of study. So if you're new here, I didn't say welcome, did I? Like Jane said, welcome to all of you. But if you're new here, as in new to this country, and you're just finding it a little bit tricky to adjust in terms of language, then the ELSP, the English Support Programme, is a great place to build confidence around that. And finally, we have the Peer Assisted Learning Programme. So this is called PAL. Again, another UEA acronym. And the PAL scheme exists in many schools across the university. Some schools have a one-to-one mentoring program and others operate that on a group basis. And this is where more experienced students, say second year or third years, can either work in a group or individually with first year undergraduate students and help them to settle in really, help to orientate them to the academic expectations of the course, but also more generally to what it means to be a student on your course and UEA. If you want to find out more about PAL, we've got a stall just out there in the little dome area on the left, and we've got some of our mentors are there with our tutors today, so you can go and have a chat about PAL, and you can also come and talk to us about anything really related to the Learning Enhancement team. So I've kind of covered this a little bit already, but just to give a bit more detail on the kinds of topics that we can help you with, either through our resources or in our workshops or in our one-to-one tutorials. So it really is about building confidence and just finding a range of strategies and techniques to help you to make the most of the different ways that you're studying. So I'll just give you a moment to absorb that. Maybe you're already thinking, oh, I think I really need some help with my note taking, or I think I really need to get some help with my numeracy or my statistics. So have a little think. And what I would say, what we always say is, if you have a kind of feeling that you might need some help, then just come and ask. And as well as being for all students, no matter what your subject area is or your level of study, we're not just there for students who are struggling, and we're not just there for students who feel they really are desperate for help. We are there for them, but we're there for everybody. So if you just feel like, actually, I'm doing okay, but I think I could just do with improving a little bit in this area, or I'm doing okay, but I'm a little bit worried about this particular aspect, then we can support you. And lots of students who we do support are really, really successful students, but they're sometimes just having some difficulty that we can help them to navigate more easily. Oh, that's exciting, it's gone off. See if I can... No, I think that's beyond my control, so we'll just wait for them to get it back online. Yeah, cool. I'm going to just go to the next slide. So this semester we've got some particular things that are happening, and I mentioned about our help desks. So this is what we've got going on this semester. We've got the study cafes. They're going to be taking place on Wednesday afternoons, as you can see, 2 till 4. We're starting in week 3, so the first one of those will be on October the 13th, and they'll be taking place in the Student Union building upstairs. So I don't know if you've explored the Student Union building, but you've got the cafe and everything downstairs, you've got the LCR, and then upstairs there are some rooms that are used for certain kinds of workshops, and sometimes teaching actually happens up there too. So our study cafes are going to be taking place in bookable room 6 up there, and the maths help desks, which take place on Wednesdays and Fridays, also in the same building at the opposite end of the corridor. So you could, on a Wednesday, come and chat to the maths tutors about some maths type stuff, and then pop down the corridor and come and see us about some more generic academic study or writing type stuff. So the idea is with both those help desks and the study cafes is that you just pop along. We'll have certain topics and themes and things, and it's very much about building confidence, getting a chance to kind of connect with other students, getting a chance to kind of meet with us and kind of ask whatever questions you might have, and just having a chance to meet humans really and talk through what's going on with your studies. It looks like the stats workshops are taking place between 4 and 5. I imagine, actually they'll be in a different place, but the details will be online, and that's with our really lovely and supportive colleague Phil, who runs those. We have writing retreats for postgraduates, and that's like a whole day of writing, which is really useful if you're working on extended projects. So we kind of share goals around writing and just do writing in the company of other people. And then, as I've said, our one-to-one tutorials. So all of that information, you don't have to carry it around in your head, luckily. It's all on My UEA. So if you just go into the little search box there on My UEA and just put in LET, you'll find our pages there. Or you can pop out to the PAL stall that's just out there and pick up a leaflet, and that's got all of the information on as well. I think we've just got one more here. Yeah, and that is our contact details. So you might want to take a picture of that if you think it would be helpful. There's the link to our page on my website. It's the main email address. So we have somebody monitoring that throughout the day, Monday to Friday, 9 till 5. We're very responsive. So if you've got a query, just not clear about what we can do and how we can help you, then you're very welcome to send an email to that address. That's also the email, the ask.let one, is the email that you would use if you wanted to book a one-to-one appointment. One-to-one appointments are very popular and they do get booked up quickly, particularly when people have their assessments coming up. So think about how you might want to use that. The SPLD address there that you can see is the one that you would email if you want to find out about getting a diagnosis for a specific learning difference. And again, colleagues are really responsive at getting back to you if you email in there. And like the library, we've got all of our social media stuff going on. The handle for all of our accounts, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, is @UEA So we'd love you to follow us and interact with us through those channels. So that's it from me, and I think it's just a chance for you to ask any questions. And if you want to just ask a question, like here and now, that's absolutely fine. If you'd prefer to ask it in a quieter sort of situation, then you can grab myself or Denise afterwards or Jane. And if you still, after a little while, think, oh, I really wish I asked, then please come and find it out at the PAL store or use one of the email addresses that were shared to ask those questions. So I'll give you a moment to think if you have any questions. Shall we loiter? I think we'll just kind of loiter over there for a bit, so you can come and ask us individually, or can find us out at the PAL store. Okay, but have a really great day, enjoy the sunshine. There's no other campus as lovely as UEA's to be on generally, but in the sunshine it's even better, so have a nice day.
sorry. Good morning. Can you hear me okay? Fantastic. This is the first time I've used a mic, I think, in my life, so I apologize if I'm way too loud or way too quiet. So, hi everyone. My name is Annie. I'm the manager of the Study Abroad team at UEA. So thank you so much to all of you for coming to this quick talk about the Study Abroad community. And then we're going to do the social for you to mingle and get to know each other. So, do you all have a yellow card? Fantastic. Please do not lose them. They'll come in useful later. So, as I said, my name is Annie. I'm joined on the stage today, well, off the stage, by my colleagues Amy and Rachel. And you can see there's lots more of my colleagues who you'll get to know very soon, wearing these very attractive Study Abroad t-shirts. So we're here to talk to you about the Study Abroad community at UEA, and more importantly, welcome you to your Study Abroad community. So this is a way for students across the whole university who are interested in international travel and international study as part of their degree to connect and to learn from each other about these opportunities. So, is it working? Don't worry. So, who is in our community? So, this is a mixture of different groups of students. Firstly, we have the visiting students at UEA. So that's any of you who are here at UEA from your home university and you're here for a semester or an academic year. Is that any of you? Can you give me a show of hands? Fantastic. That's a great welcome. This community is also for UEA students who are on their full degree here who will be or are interested in studying abroad at some point in the future. How many of you is that? Fantastic, that's so great. This is also a community of UEA students who have already studied abroad and are coming back. I'm pretty sure there's no one in this room for whom that applies, because they're all still abroad, or they'll be back next week, but you'll get a chance to meet them as well. So this is a way for these different groups to all connect, because you're all going to experience different things, but you're all going to experience the same thing, which is having an abroad academic experience as part of your main degree. So what can you expect from the community experience? Obviously there are events like this one, opportunities for you to get together. We aim to have a community event once a month. It doesn't involve a high amount of involvement. You can come if you want to, you can not come if you want to. It's an opportunity for you to meet. There is an opportunity to meet people who share your interests, other people who want to travel or get a new perspective on their degree. And there is also the UEA Study Abroad Buddy Scheme, and that's what we're going to talk to you about in more detail. So I'm going to hand over to Rachel just now to give you a bit more detail about the Buddy Scheme.
Okay, hi everyone. My name is Rachel and I work in the Study Abroad team on the outgoing team. So I mainly work with students who are studying abroad as part of their UEA degree. But I also work with visiting students too, and I work with Amy on the Buddy Scheme. So, what is the Buddy Scheme? Well, it's a scheme that we set up last year, so it's quite new. But we wanted to use it as a way to get our students connected with each other. We know that we welcome loads of visiting students each year, but we also send out loads of students to countries all over the world. And we were really, really keen for you guys to mingle and mix and meet each other. It's really, really nice for outgoing students to meet visiting students because it helps to kind of encourage them to study abroad. It inspires them. They can learn about loads of new cultures, decide where they want to go, but also really great for visiting students because you get to meet someone who can kind of help you settle in Norwich, who also has kind of who's kind of like-minded and loves traveling and things like that. So the idea is that we will put you in small groups if you sign up. So we ask you to fill in a quick form. You've all got your yellow card in your hand, which will have on the back of it a QR code. You just need to scan the QR code and it will take you to a sign-up form. Some of you might have already signed up because we did send an email to you guys about it, so you might have already seen that. Once we've got you all filling in the form, we'll allocate you to a buddy group. The buddy groups might vary in size, but what we normally like to do is have some outgoing students and some visiting students. And amongst our outgoing students, we like a mix of students who are about to go abroad, students who've been abroad, so that you kind of just have lots of different experiences, lots of different cultures. We try and kind of match you with a group dependent on where you've come from, where you're interested in going. So we want you to kind of have sort of interests and things in common with your group. So like I say, it will be like a mix of visiting students and outgoing students, and hopefully some return students who've studied abroad and have come back to UEA and kind of want to share their experience with you, and can also inspire you a bit. So how do you connect? What happens once you've been given your group? Well, we introduce you to your group. We send you all the contact details of each other so that you can kind of get to know one another, but then we kind of take a step back. We want you guys to have a group of friends that you can meet up with. We don't want to get too involved in the group if you don't want us to. We want you to feel like it's just a friendship, really. So what happens is we would recommend you start up a group chat once you've been allocated your buddy group. You can use WhatsApp, it's probably the easiest way. You can use email if you prefer. And we encourage you to meet up in person if you can. Obviously at the moment with restrictions, COVID restrictions, it is possible to meet up like we are now. And why not go around Norwich, get to know the area, get to know UEA, and to know each other in person. And the other thing is we're hoping to run some in-person events this year as well. So a bit like we're doing today, getting people together, getting to know your buddy group, but also others' buddy groups, and feeling more a part of the community. So that's kind of what the basis of the scheme is. And I'm going to hand over to my colleague Amy now, who's going to tell you a bit more about the buddy scheme and how it works.
Hello again, everyone who met me on Monday. So I'm Amy. I work with visiting students primarily, but hello to the new UEA students who will be going out in the next couple of years. Cool. So if you see that picture, that is some visiting students from a couple of years ago, pre-pandemic, out having fun with their friends. So there's lots of benefits to joining the buddy scheme aside from being part of the community. Certainly if you are a language student or if you're a visiting student and English isn't your first language, it's a really good way to meet people who you can practice your language skills with. We'll try and match you based on like your subject and your nationality, so it could be a good chance to link with some people to have conversations with. It's also great whether you're first year or a visiting student, you'll be paired with someone who knows UEA a bit better. So if you have any questions about settling in, then you automatically have a contact who you can ask questions to. They might be able to give you advice about UEA related things or just where to get the best coffee in Norwich. Cofra, by the way. Having a group of people also gives you someone to go to study abroad events with. As Annie and Rachel have already said, we're hoping to organise regular events for the community. So yeah, you can organise with your buddy group to go to those so you don't have to go by yourself. It'll give you friends, hopefully, that you'll continue to stay in contact with after this year. It's a great thing to add to your CV, especially if you are perhaps a return study abroad student. You can say you've participated in this scheme and with like peer-to-peer support. And then finally, hopefully you'll be inspired by others or inspire others to study abroad. Like, it is a great opportunity, and we really hope that by connecting you, it'll encourage more and more people to pursue studying abroad. Cool. So I think this has kind of been covered already, but just key takeaways about the scheme is that it's mainly led by you. We're going to be quite hands-off. Once we've given you your contacts, we'll set up some events. We want you to kind of lead your group and make things happen, get in contact with them. You are expected to put a bit of commitment into it. So yeah, messaging, answering messages, and just ensuring that you are connecting with the people in your group. And we will provide some materials to help you kind of get started once you've been assigned your buddies. And just to reiterate, I'll show you the timeline of how things will happen. So you should have an email already inviting you to sign up for Buddy Scheme, or you can scan the QR code and sign up on our online form. We'll then email you your buddy details next week, so that will include their name, who they are, and their email address. You'll then be able to get in contact with a group for the first time and arrange to meet them. We'll be running a Buddy Scheme photo competition at some point during the semester. There will be prizes up for grabs for the group who submit the best photo. And hopefully going forward, like once you've left UEA and gone on to other things, you'll remain in contact with your group.
Thank you so much, Amy and Rachel. That's brilliant. So I really encourage you guys, if you haven't already, to sign up for the scheme. I think something really important to remember is that every visiting student at UEA is from a university that a UEA student could go to study at. So if you meet the person who's from the university you're going to go to, you have a friend there already, and they can tell you loads more about that experience as well. So it's a really good thing to do. It's been really great meeting you. We're going to mix you up in a minute. One thing I'll say just now is for any UEA students who are interested in learning more about going abroad as part of your degree at UEA, we have another talk at 12:30 on Friday when we'll go into a little bit more detail about the timeline and how that would work as well. So for now, I'm going to ask you all to look at the country on your yellow card. And my colleagues are just getting organized, and we'll hold up a flag. This isn't a quiz. You're not trying to test your flag knowledge, don't worry. But my colleagues should all be holding up flags now from countries around the world. Thank you, Scotland, the most international destination I could think of. All right. So, if you have the USA on your yellow card, can you please go over to the lovely Rachel over here? If you have Japan on your card, can you please go to my colleague Emma over there? If you're lucky enough to have my home country, Scotland, on your card, you can head over there. Mexico, you guys, oh sorry, Spain? Spain, you guys are heading to Olivia over there. And Mexico is Amy over here. So if you want to break up, don't panic, they'll be really lovely to you. And they've got a couple of questions to ask you. Oh, sorry, Germany. I forgot about Germany. Celine, she's over there. So if you're Germany, you're over there. Mexico, over here. I forgot about Germany. Okay, thank you very much, guys. Do you need your card? Hi guys. I'm only pausing you, I'm not stopping you. But I just wanted to say again, thank you very much. We've got this space until 12, so feel free to stay. If you want to, if USA wants to visit Scotland, or if Spain wants to visit Japan, whatever, you can mix a little bit as well. But it was really nice to meet you. If you're a UEA degree student, hopefully we'll see you at 12:30 on Friday. We've also got a drop-in session all day on Friday and all day next Wednesday, so you can come and have a one-on-one chat about anything you need as well. Thank you very much. It's been a joy to meet you all, and hopefully we'll see you all at our events and in the buddy scheme very soon. But you're very welcome to stay after this. It's up to you. Thank you.
hear me. This is the third iteration of Welcome Talk, but we haven't lost any of our enthusiasm. So it's really lovely that those of you that are here today are interested in hearing about all things welcome and the range of services and support that's available for you. So first things first, introductions. So my name, if you can see it on the screen, is Emma, and I'm the Pro-Vice Chancellor for Student Experience and Education at the university. What that means is I'm a member of the university's executive team and have oversight and responsibility really for making sure that your experience here and your learning all goes as well as it possibly can. We really do want you to have an excellent experience. I have a fantastic team of colleagues that work with me on this, because clearly there's a lot to do, and some of them have joined us today just to make you aware of who they are, what they do, and really just so that you can put some names and faces together. We hope you'll find we're an approachable bunch. We genuinely are interested in getting to know you and hearing about how things are going. So I'd just like to do a couple of quick introductions, and then we'll be followed and joined by a series of other colleagues to tell you a bit more about their services. So I'm going to start first of all with John, if I may.
Hi everyone, I hope you can hear me. I tend to be quite loud. I'm John Sharp, I'm Director of Student Services, and we provide a whole range of services for students, some of which you'll probably expect, some of which you might not. So I'll do it really briefly because we've not got a lot of time. We look after students' well-being. We provide life advice, life advisors, financial advice, international student advice. We've also got a team of residential life advisors who support students who are in accommodation with us. We also provide disability support. We also look after the faith provision on campus. And the bit that people don't expect necessarily is we also run the dental practice. And that in about a minute sums us up. Thank you very much.
Thank you, John. Helena, over to you.
Hi everybody, my name is Helena Gillespie and I am the Associate Pro-Vice Chancellor for Student Inclusion, and I work mostly around equality, diversity, inclusion issues and widening participation with my excellent friend Becky Price, who's sitting there at the back. We are Team WP and Inclusion. Thank you.
Thank you, Helena, and now we have Neil.
Hello everyone, welcome to UEA. My name is Neil James, I'm Associate Pro-Vice Chancellor for Education and Curriculum, that's a mouthful, and I have responsibility for your education and curriculum experience, so anything to do with assessments, regulations, extenuating circumstances, anything related to your overall experience in respect of your education is what I'm responsible for.
Thank you very much. So there's a number of other colleagues involved. So there's also a senior colleague that looks after our innovation and digital agenda. We've got a colleague, Becky, sat at the back of the room, who's already waved, who looks after graduate success, and another colleague who looks after the employability and opportunities piece. But I guess what I wanted to do is just show that whilst we're kind of got really big portfolios, we're real people and we're really interested in hearing about how things go. So what I'd like to do now, if I may, is apart from saying welcome, we are genuinely so delighted that you're here, is to just introduce some other colleagues to tell you about what else is available here at UEA. So we're here for you if you need us. Everybody's going to tell you about their role. They're going to tell you about the part that they can play in making your education and experience as positive as it can be. I hope you will take away from this conversation and the ones you're already having a sense that actually we are a tight community. People know each other, people care about each other, people want to work with you. So please don't be shy. There won't be any issues that we aren't comfortable hearing or listening to. And I know when Claire comes and talks to you, she'll really want to emphasise that point. If you've got a question, you'll have already met, I'm sure, lots of people, but there are specific colleagues, many of whom are actually student ambassadors for us, wearing beautifully bright coloured t-shirts. We have a rainbow of t-shirts this year, which is really lovely, but they are there to give you immediate direction, support, signposting. So if you've got a question about anything, even if it's just where can I buy the best cup of coffee at the best price, please don't be shy, please do talk to us. The student voice is really important. here at UEA, and I hope that's evident in the conversation we're having now. But one of the particular things that we've launched this year is a pulse survey. You may have already looked at your emails, and you may have already sort of understood that. You may have already even used it, but if you haven't, please do look at the information in the email or go and find the shed, which is outside the library and the UNIO building. Pulse Survey is a new initiative which gives you the opportunity to tell us directly how it's going. We're really keen to hear about your well-being experience, your settling in experience, your education experience, and Pulse a way that you can do that so that we can be really responsive. So it won't go into the ether, I can guarantee you. There is a team of us, including some of the colleagues you've already met this morning, who will be looking out to hear from you how things are. It will influence the decisions we make about the projects that we work on. It will influence your experience and opportunities. So use Pulse. I understand there might even be a prize involved, so there's always a good incentive. And look out for further feedback on what we've learned from that and what we've done about it. So I'd like to now, if I may, introduce the first of my colleagues, Ivo. So over to you, Ivo.
Hello. Is everyone having a good week? Yes, there we go. Enthusiasm there. Cool. So my name is Ivo Garnham, and I'm the Undergraduate Education Officer at UEA Students' Union. So my role includes such as representing undergrads, academic matters, teaching spaces, curriculum changes, and of course timetable. So I also lead our system of course representation. Each year of each course will have a course rep who's responsible for passing on feedback and working with your school staff to improve your course. Being a rep is a really valuable experience because you'll get to influence change and also you'll gain skills in networking, problem solving and leadership. So if you want some more information about that, feel free to come and speak to one of our team or head to the SU website, uea.su, and then if you go on the Education tab and click on Course Representation. You can sign up now, but I'd recommend doing that sooner rather than later because it is quite competitive. So if you want to talk to me about anything or find out what I'm up to, feel free to send me an email or you can get me on social media. I'm on Facebook or Instagram there. And I believe I'm passing over to Lizzie now.
Thanks, Ivo. Welcome, everyone. So I'm Lizzie, and I'm the Activities and Opportunities Officer at the UEA Students' Union, which basically means I represent students on clubs, societies, volunteering, all of the great things you can do outside of your degree. So I'm going to give you a whistle-stop tour of what the SU does. I've only got 4 minutes to do it, so I'm going to get going. Okay, so what is a Students' Union? So a Students' Union is an independent charity of the university, and as you're all members of UEA, you're automatically enrolled into being a member of the Students' Union, which means that you have access to all the great things we do, like clubs and societies, advice and things that we offer for students. So there's 5 full-time elected officers who are all up there, and I'm one of them. And then we've also got 14 part-time officers who represent you on a range of areas like environment, education, liberation, like loads of things, just to make sure that every student at UEA just feels really welcomed into their experience. Okay, moving on to what we do at SU. So we have a partnership with UEA Sport, which means that we help run the 57 different sports clubs we have at UEA. I'm not going to go into too much detail because there's more in sport later, but I will move on to our over 200 different societies. So there's societies from things like arts and performance societies, so there's drama and musical theatre. We've got cultural societies. I think there's 41 different cultural societies at UEA. There's political societies, religious societies, just so many societies for you to join. And if you want to find out what we have on offer, you can go onto the UEA SU website and just see what's available. All of them are there. Anyone can join all of them. There's no limit to how many you can join. But really, really great way to find your community at UEA and find people who are like-minded and people who you kind of want to hang out with. Moving on to our venues. So we've got 2 venues. So we've got the LCR, which you might have been in already if you've been to the welcome party and things, or damn good last night. I hope your heads are okay this morning. So we have, in the LCR, we have two sort of standard club nights. So we've got Downward on a Tuesday and then A-List on a Saturday. But then we also run multiple different events throughout the year. So clubs and societies put things on. So we've had like Strictly, which is run by the Bournemouth and Latin Dance Club. We've had like So You Think You Can Cheer Dance, MMA Fight Night. So this all happens in the LCR. So it's quite a big, vibrant scene going on there. Then we also have a venue in the city called Waterfront, and they run club nights as well. But both venues also have a really extensive gig program. So we've had like Ed Sheeran in the past, Coldplay, Florence and the Machine. So if you're interested in music and culture, then definitely look up the gig program, because there's some really great artists who do come right on your doorstep. So we also run Buddy SU. So this is a scheme which pairs up students predominantly in their first year of studying with students who are in their second or third year. And they're basically there to be a familiar face around campus, somebody you can ask questions to, somebody who you can ask all the silly things that you think, I probably should know the answer to, but really doesn't matter if you don't know the answers to, because you can ask your buddy. You're kind of paired up on your interests or your hobbies, so you have some commonalities between the two of you. You can just meet up for coffee, they can take you on campus tours, but it's just to help you settle in to life at UEA and have somebody who can signpost you to the right areas. They are still taking sign-ups, so if you are interested in being allocated a buddy, then you can go onto the SU website and just sign up to the scheme, and we'll automatically allocate you one. And finally, moving on to our advice service. So these are all independent and experienced advisors that we have in the SU. And because we're a separate organisation from the university, we don't have a right to tell the university that you've come to us. So you're struggling with things like finances, employability, your well-being. We really, really care about you, and we want to help you throughout your university experience. So Advice SU is always there for you. So please do get in touch if you feel that you need to. And finally, so there's some talks going on throughout the week in the LCR after these talks. We haven't got one today, but on Thursday and Friday we do have ones on things like welfare. So please do come along to the LCR if you're interested in hearing more. There's also the sports fair going on today, which we'll probably touch on in a minute as well. But if you're interested in joining any of the sports clubs that we have on offer, then head over to the sports park. You can meet loads of different committees from all of the 57 different sports clubs and just have a feel of which ones you want to join. Even if you're not sporty, it really doesn't matter. You can just have a look and get chatting to some of the committee members. I'm now going to hand over to Davey from security. But yeah, thank you everyone, and see you for the talk.
Good afternoon, everyone. You all right? Yeah, good. First of all, welcome to UEA on behalf of the UEA Security Department. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about who we are, what we do, and also at the end, how to contact us. So if you've got your phone, if you want to take a picture of the final slide with some numbers on it, please feel free to do so, because I guarantee you need one of those phone numbers during your time here. So who are we? So our department is quite a small department. It consists of the head of security and transport. Then we have an operations manager, which is myself. And we have 4 teams of 7 on the campus. We also look after the library, and we also look after the quadrant building over by hospital as well. We only work for UEA. We are not an outside company, so you will see the same security officers during your stay here. We're all very well trained, and some of them, like myself, have been here for over 17 years. So there isn't anything that we haven't seen or dealt with in the past. So we are a very, very friendly bunch. If you have any questions for us, please feel free to just stop us, ask us. We will answer anything you want. So you might ask, what do security do? This is it. This is essentially our job role. We are here to provide a safe, secure, and peaceful environment for staff, students, and visitors to the campus. That's it in a nutshell. We are here to make sure that while you are on campus, that you are as safe as possible. So at this point, I'd like to liken the university to this giant machine. So you think it's a massive machine with all these cogs whirring around, making the machine work. Well, sometimes a cog falls off. And when it does, that's where we come in. It is our job to go and put that cog back on to keep the university running. So some of the other things we get involved in, we're involved in student welfare, staff welfare, we monitor all the building alarms, we open and close the whole university every day, we're the out of hours for every department, respond to emergencies, we manage and support events, and the list just goes on and on. There isn't anything really we don't kind of get involved in at some point. So essentially you could liken us to, we are the police, the fire service, and the ambulance service for the entire campus. And again, I will just stress at this point, we are just here to make sure that while you are on campus, you are as safe as you can possibly be. And this is my final slide, so if you did want to just take a jot down of these phone numbers, if you ever need us in an emergency, it's 01603 592222, or a non-emergency number is extension 2352, or you can email us at any point. That email is monitored 24 hours, 7 days a week as well, so please feel free to email us. And if you haven't downloaded the Safe Zone app, I would strongly advise you to do so. If you want a little bit more information, some of my colleagues are over in the small tent today advertising Safe Zone apps. Please go over and have a chat with them afterwards. They'll explain to you what it's all about, and then you can get that downloaded on your phone. Okay. Thank you for listening. I'm now going to pass over to Claire.
Thank you, Davey. So hello, it's lovely to meet you all. So my name's Claire. I'm the Head of Student Wellbeing and work over in Student Services with my colleague John, who you've already met. So again, as everybody else has said, just want to say a great big welcome to you. Brilliant to see sort of students back on campus and the start term happening all over again. It's always our favourite time of year, so a great big welcome to you all. And I'm here really to just let you know a little bit more about the wellbeing support that we have for you here at the university. As colleagues have already said, we really want to be part of helping you to make the most of your time at the university and to help you to manage any difficulties or any worries that you might come across along your journey. So we have quite an extensive offer through the Wellbeing Service, as you can see here from my slide. A couple of the things that we offer particularly that I want to highlight to you, we have our own in-house therapy service. So this consists of a number of counsellors and cognitive behavioural practitioners. They offer what we call single session therapy, which means that you can access a therapy session with one of the therapists at any time you need to. Now, although it is called single session therapy, that's a little bit misleading. What it means is it's a session that's contained in and of itself and can be of use just on its own. But there's also the option for you to have follow-up sessions at any point that you need throughout your year at the university. So you would just need to contact your therapist and then rebook in with them. So it's hopefully flexible, and it's led by you guys, so it's there for when you need it and for the situations that you need it, rather than being really prescriptive and therefore less flexible. We also have some really experienced and lovely wellbeing advisors who specialise in mental health and other types of disabilities. They're highly trained, highly experienced and friendly people. So they're there to help you with any issues that you might have with your wellbeing, whether you need reasonable adjustments and support around disability, support to access your studies in a way that makes sense to you, or if you just want to think with them about what's going on for you, if you've found that you're experiencing some difficulties with your well-being and you want to explore what might be helpful. They're there for you to support you. We also have our wellbeing training team, who some of you may have already met in the course of this week. They've done a couple of sessions in the Dome, and they're currently out by the square with their wellbeing wall, encouraging students to talk to them about all things wellbeing and how they look after their own self-care. The wellbeing training team, most of you will meet at some point in the next couple of months. They'll be in your timetabled sessions doing introduction to wellbeing and mental health, helping you to think about how you manage and promote positive wellbeing both within yourself and your colleagues and your peers around you. They run a huge amount of sessions throughout the year that people can opt into. You just need to let us know you'd like to join the session. We'll send you a link or let you know where that will be. Anything from wellness action planning to understanding how to manage stress to thinking about how you might cope if you've had a bereavement, for example. There's all sorts of things on offer and all sorts of things that we would encourage you to explore, even if you aren't struggling with your mental health. It's better to be prepared, and lots of people will learn some interesting techniques and ideas in these sessions, even if you aren't currently struggling. So do contact us, do get in touch. We're very accessible, so you just need to visit our website page, and we've got a couple of forms there that you can fill in to refer yourselves to either of the service that I've spoken about, or you can simply drop us an email and let us know what it is that you would like support with. We have wellbeing advisors and student services advisors embedded within all your faculties of study, so people who know your schools of study, know the issues that come up within your schools of study really very well. They know your academic colleagues and are there to work with you collectively alongside your academics to make sure that we're having a look at the whole picture and making sure that your wellbeing from every angle is supported. So do get in touch, reach out, email us, drop a line to us via our online form if there's anything that we can do to support you. And I hope you have a brilliant year. So I shall hand over to Aaron.
This thing's really low. Hi guys, I'm I'm Aaron. I'm your Welfare Community Diversity Officer. I'm one of the 5 elected officials who works full-time for the Students' Union. Stuff that I'm involved in includes student well-being, mental health, discrimination, housing, liberation campaigns, things like Black History Month, community work, charity work, advocacy work. So if anything like that interests you guys and you want to find out more information, I'm the guy to speak to, basically. But I'm here to talk to you about your experience. So ultimately, your experience at UEA matters, and your time with us is important. And within the SU, that means many things. That means making sure that your well-being and your overall experience is really comfortable and fun and safe. So we have a couple things. You might have heard some of these already. I'll go over those ones quickly and also talk about some other things. So first of all, we have the Advice Centre, which Lizzie did mention. As you walk into Union House, you'll see it on the right-hand side. It's that door there, and you see it says Advice SU, and they'll be able to help you out with issues like housing, support, well-being, anything like that. Also, at the front of that zone as well, we have the welfare zone, which is a similar kind of area which people will be there, buddies will be there. There'll be advice team members who can help you with well-being issues you may be having. Next, we have our student support and feedback groups. These work alongside societies and include different areas, including LGBTQ+, non-white or POC students, disabled students, women plus, mature, commuter students, postgraduates. And these groups are designed for basically you guys who have like-minded people or people that you kind of fall under the same brackets with. But also it's a way of telling us as the SU what you want to see from those groups. Is it you want events? Is it you want more opportunities? Is it something that we can do? Basically, we're here to listen and help you guys in any way that we can. So if you do fall under one of those groups, you can give us a little email and we can get involved in that. We have our campaigns, which is one of our really important things. So if any of you have gone to a night out already, you may have seen we have the Alcohol Impact team, we have the Good Night Out team. These guys are always making sure that you guys are having a safe night and a happy night. This also, when you go into your 2nd and 3rd year as well, they have the Safe Taxi scheme, which is all about getting home safely. So if you didn't have money for a taxi, for instance, there's the university offers ways of doing that. Also our Never Okay campaign, so you'll see it in the toilet stalls and things like that. If you've ever been a victim of any sort of assault or things like that, there are schemes in place that will help support you. We also have Eradicate Hate, which is all about discrimination, all about educating people on how to be anti-racist and how we are working as a university to be actively anti-racist. And finally, our Report and Support scheme, which is our all-encompassing scheme for any issues or any concerns that you have. You can use Report and Support to let us know what's going on. So ultimately, we're here to create an inclusive environment, and we do this through multiple things. We do through our clubs and societies. We do this through our nights out. We do this for our Liberation Month, including Black History Month, which is actually next month or 8 days away. So, we've been working hard on that. So make sure you guys take involved in that. And there's so much more as well that we do. So if you guys are interested in any kind of this stuff, then give me an excuse to get behind my desk. I hate being behind my desk personally. I'm not a desk person. I like to be walking around. I like to be interacting with people as much as I can. So here you can see my email. We also have an officer Instagram and an officer Facebook. So if you guys have any questions, any queries, any comments, anything, or you just want to gossip, because I'm a huge gossip and I don't like to just sit behind my desk, as I said basically before. But yeah, guys, feel free to talk to me about anything, anytime. Thank you very much. And I'll be handing over to Tony now.
Yeah, hi everyone. So I'm from UEA Sport. I'm the Student Sport Administrator, so I'm based in the office up Sports Park. We've got a lovely little team up there who administrate everything to do with sport here at UEA. So yeah, we're more than just sport clubs. We're going to have a little chat to you in a minute with Lizzie about the 57 clubs that she's mentioned previously. But we do a lot more besides that as well. So first of all, we've got the UEA Moves app. Some of you might have seen this publicised in various places so far. It's a great thing to download. You can track your steps, your physical activity just on your phone, or if you've got a watch or anything like that. and then you can get rewards around campus just for your regular exercise. So that's a really good scheme. Then we've got our active campus scheme. So that's loads of things, waymark trails around the lake. We've got maps in the office if you want to come and pick some of them up, where you can have guided trails around the campus and around the lake. We've also got the Quest app, which is a new thing that's coming in. It's almost a kind of geocaching type thing, where you can use the app, and again it directs you around the campus and around the local area, so you can explore what's around us. And we've got a really lovely campus and surrounding area, so I'd very much recommend, if you're new to the area, exploring that. This is a very popular one. We offer wellbeing dog walks, which you can book online through the Do Something Different website, and you can meet some of the dogs that are from our partner company and have a walk around the lake with them and give them a pet. We've also got the Navigate Norfolk day trips. They're really good, so they are fortnightly on Saturdays. Again, you can book them on the UEA Do Something Different website. £5 a ticket, trips out to local beauty spots and areas around the county, and even some into Suffolk as well. So you can get to meet a wide range of different students, have a chat and get active that way. This one really came into its own during lockdown, the equipment hub. So we've got a hub of different games, and you can see some of them listed on the slide, which you can borrow as a house, either flat on campus or an external student house, to help you get active from the comfort of your own home. This is our programme of drop-in sports. So there's £1 and £2 drop-ins. You can book them on the Sports Arc website or on the app, or just pop into reception. There's no membership fee, no obligation. So these are just one-offs that you can go every week if you want, or you can just pick and choose without committing to a club. And you see there's a whole range of different classes and different activities that you can do there. They're really fun. Back this year we've got the Ziggurat challenge, so you can represent your school of study against other schools. There's points for attendance, points for participation. That's a really good one where you can get involved. It's a really nice, chilled, relaxed environment, and you don't need to book that. You can just turn up. We've got lists of when they are on the website and in the office. And then just the last couple of things, we run a whole range of other events as well. So we've got the colour run there, so you might end up being as happy as those people look. We do a Santa run at Christmas time, and we do a roller disco as well, which is always popular. So welcome to UEA Sport from everyone. Welcome to UEA from everyone in the sports department. We hope to see loads of you participating in our programmes. I'm just going to hand you over to Lizzie, who's going to explain some things about the sports clubs themselves. Thank you.
Thanks, Tony. So as I said earlier, we have 57 different sports clubs, and I'm probably biased in this opinion, but I genuinely do think they're one of the best things that we have on campus, and my entire university experience wouldn't have been the same without all the sports clubs I've been part of and the great people I've met through sports clubs. So just a little bit about them. So all take people from all the way from beginners. So if you've never done the sport before, it really, really doesn't matter. So I was part of gymnastics. If you've never done a roly-poly before, it doesn't matter. We'll teach you how to do it. That's the attitude of all the sports clubs that we have. We really want you to try something new when you're to uni. So even if you've never been a sporty person before you came to uni in the first place, don't be afraid to just go around sports fair today and just have a look what we have on offer. Because we have so many different clubs, from things like the dance clubs and the more traditional clubs like football, rugby, hockey. But we also have more of the niche clubs like frisbee and korfball. Korfball is really popular in Norwich. So a really big club here, and there's so many people you can meet through them. A lot of them do have a lot of their stuff on social media. So if you want to get a feel for them, just look them up on social media. They're all quite good. And you can ask them questions through their DMs, or you can find them on Facebook and things. But genuinely do recommend just reaching out to them, just asking some of the questions that you might have before going to any sessions. All of them are also running different sessions throughout the next few weeks, which is kind of like a try before you buy scheme. So you don't have to hand over any money. You can just go to the session, have a go, see if you like it, and see if you get on with the sport and the other people who are there. And just try. I really recommend trying out as many as you like, as many as you think that you are interested in. They're all free, so there's nothing to lose, and you might as well can make so many great friends by going to them and becoming part of their club. You can also, so those are happening over the next few weeks before you buy any membership, so do have a go. As I said earlier, we do have the sports fair on, so just have a look around there. But also there's so many opportunities that you can get through being part of sports clubs. So being on committee, you get leadership skills, looks great in your CV, employability, communication. So really, really great opportunities that you can get through clubs and societies. So if you are interested, just please go and have a look, because they genuinely are one of the best things that we have about UEA, and something that just takes your mind off of all the stresses of academic work and kind of takes you to a different place, so you can sort of wind down and meet other people and just hang out with them. That's all from me, and I'm now going to hand back over to Emma for the final few words.
It really is a final few words. Thank you enormously for your patience. Thank you for listening. Thank you for coming to UEA. We are absolutely delighted to have you back. We know the last couple of years haven't been what any of us would have wished for. We know your journey here has been tougher than most. So well done you. Congratulations. I'm also thank you in advance for all the fantastic things you're going to do for us. You are part of the UEA family now. And that really does mean something to me. David said he'd been here 17 years. I've been here 22 now. There'll be lots of other colleagues that have been here longer than me. We really do feel that we are a community here. You're now part of that. So welcome. Thank you. Lovely to meet you all. Take care.
So I was too loud. I am so sorry. Hello, everyone. My name's Ayana. My pronouns are Shiha. I'm your postgraduate education officer. I apologize. I think I'm loud in general, so I should be like a bit far from the mic anyway. So we're going to talk about international talk for international students. And then, so welcome to Uea. I think it's, you come like a long way, and I'm really happy that you're here as an international student. So what we're going to talk today is I'm going to talk about what student union, how we support you. Oh, you okay? Sorry, I just saw your chair's going like that. And so we're going to talk about how international students can get involved with the student union. And then also we have the international student ambassador from International Student Office. And then we're going to have a Q&A session. So that's kind of how we goes this content. So this is like our logo. It's cool, isn't it? It's really like, I really appreciate comms team. But welcome to Uea. Student union, I'm just going to explain this a little bit after this. But what student union? We call UEASU. What is student union? So student union is a charity, and it's completely different from Uea. It's a different organization. So it's like run by students, for students. It's kind of one of Lincoln's speech, right? Like for students, by the students. I can't remember, sorry. I learned it when I was younger. But so we are completely separate Uea, but you are already Uea students, and you are already a member of UEASU, so you don't have to register or anything. And then we represent you on any issue. So I should have introduced myself a bit earlier. But my role is postgraduate education. So I support postgraduate taught students education, and also postgraduate research students of research part. So like my students are PhD students. That's kind of, I'm in charge of them. And then like we have different officers as well. I'm going to explain a bit later. So, which is later, it was just right after. So this is a 5 full-time officer, full-time sabbatical officers who support you like directly. And then on the left side, Hamish campaigns and democracy officer. So SU also a kind of like governance structure, so that he's in charge of that. Oh, you okay? It's kind of, yeah, it's hard to balance, isn't it? Hopefully you're okay, sorry. And then my name's Ayane, I'm the postgraduate education, and next to Ms. Aibo, he's the undergraduate education officer, he supports undergraduate education. And then next to Aibo is Lizzie, I think if you were earlier, you saw it. Lizzie is the activity opportunities officer, so she's in charge of clubs and societies. And then the Aaron, he's welfare community diversity officer, so mental health and student issue he supports as well. So we have more than 50 sports clubs. We have judo club, because I used this joke as well earlier Monday. I practice judo in Japan, so I have black belt. So if you are, behaving wrong, be careful. No, I'm just kidding. And then we have a baseball, football club. So if you're very interested, please attend. I have a lot of international friends. They also attend a lot of clubs as well. It's really good. And we also have more than 200 societies. We have loads of societies, like baking societies and pasta societies. And you can attend as many societies as possible. So if you're interested, yeah, try it. And we have course rep system. I strongly recommend being course rep. What course rep does is, so I was course rep as well when I was a student. So course rep is kind of the leader of your course students, and you talk to your module organizer, and if there's some issue, you can be like their voice. And student union, we train you, and you can gain a lot of skills like speaking skills or leadership skills, those kind of stuff, which is very useful in your future. So yeah, if you are, and you make you busy, so it's really good. Not really busy, but it's really good. I recommend that. And then Buddy SU, so it's like we kind of match up people. So if this is your first time to come to Norwich and you don't know anything, and you sign up and you can be, like Buddy, with buddy, and then you just like your buddy would support you like any issue, and then it's really useful. So if you are looking for new friends or you want to know more about UEA, it's best way to do. And we have a lots of campaigns running, which on the right side is sexual harassment is never okay, Decolonize UEA, and eradicate hate. It's like no anti-racism campus. We are trying. And then all goes to report and support. And we have the page report and support. If you Google report and support UEA, there's a page. And what this is about, this is like, so if you are, you know, like if you are on campus, or not on campus, but if you feel like sexual, let's say, you feel discriminated by someone, specific person, and you can report anonymously, so they don't know your name, but you can do it like non-anonymous way. You can say your name as well, but you can report what happened to you. And also, for example, if your friend, so your friend was abused by someone, you can also report that as well, anonymously. So like we support each other by report and support. Does that make sense? So it's really, really good. I've used one time before because I personally had some experience and I need to report to change. So it's really good, Kane. And then we have Advice SU group, SU team, which is very professional and confidential team. So if you have any issue about finance or housing or your assessment, like if you wanna ask your module organizer, remark your essay, but you don't know what to do, those kind of stuff, you can ask Advice SU team. They can give you some advice or signpost who you should talk to. So if you have any question, please go to Advice SU. And if you don't know, feel free to get in with me anytime. And here you go. This is my introduction page, which we put like a bit earlier. Hello, my name is Ayana Hida. Again, my pronounce is Shiha. I'm your postgraduate education officer. So I am Japanese. I came from Japan like 2019. This is my third year. This is my third year of Norwich experience. I really like Norwich and I can't leave yet. So and then I did masters in global intercultural communication in PPL. So like I like how intercultural education. I'm very interested in those intercultural education. So that's my interest. And then I was course rep again. I wrote down. And then I took a bachelor's degree in Japan, sociology, because I wanted to be the kind of history teacher, geography teacher, and I also have physical education, PE teacher, so I can teach that in Japanese, in Japanese of course, but in Japan. If you want to learn something Japanese, I can teach you as well, so welcome. So that's me, that's from me. I'm just going to pass on to our international students officer, and I'm going to come back a bit later, but I'm just going to pass on to them. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Alex and I will be your International Students Officer. Okay, I'll learn my lesson. I will be your International EU Students Officer. So my job here is to represent all the interests of EU students at UEA. And a little bit about myself, I am from Romania. I'm a second year economics and finance student, and on top of that I also am involved in other issues throughout the ESU, such as me being the social sciences faculty convener. So my job, on top of representing international students, I also work with the teaching team here in order to ensure that the social science faculty delivers the best education possible to all students. And yeah, that's about for now. If you have any questions, please come or contact me for everything else. And now I'm going to give it to Miriam.
Hi everyone, my name is Miriam. My pronouns are she and her. I'm your International Students Non-EU Officer and your annual delegate. My role as the International Students Non-EU Officer is to make sure enough assistance and guidance is given to you throughout your university experience to make it as smooth as possible. So if you guys have any concerns, any suggestions you want to bring up, make sure you contact me or stop me by if I'm walking around campus and have a chat about it. My role as the NUS delegate is to represent your concerns and your stands on a national level in the National Union of Students. So if you have anything you want to put on the national level, make sure you contact me as well. I'm an Egyptian American who studies international relations and politics. I'm going into my second year, so if you have any questions about the course, don't hesitate to contact me. One advice I'd give you guys is get involved as much as you can. There's many opportunities on campus. Grasp as much as you want. One of the opportunities that I really enjoyed is joining societies. It's a great opportunity to meet new people, learn new skills. And if you do join any of them, you'll find me in their committees. And now I'll pass it on to Ayane to continue explaining how you can get involved.
Hello, me again. So yeah, how the international students can get involved with the student union, how we do. The first one's like Miriam just explained, in societies, we have international student society as well. And also we have like cultural society, like Japan society or different society. So if you're very interested in your own culture or like different culture, you don't have to be Japanese to attend Japan society. You can just attend any society you want. And also, I think ambassador team is going to explain a bit later that we have learning enhancement team who support international students, for example, like if your English is second language, like it's just a support, I just didn't know writing essay in English. I didn't even know actually in Japanese, but it's really helpful. They're really helpful team to support international students. And then they have a career central. So if you're thinking part-time job or full-time job, that's go-to place. They can support you 100%. And then we have loads of the SU events. So it's really good for you to get involved with as many events as possible, which leads to, it's like events happening. You can see outside of this tent, but so I'm just going to skip a little bit. But this Sunday, we have International Students Picnic. Yay! So, are you not excited? Haven't? No, I'm just kidding. But if you can scan this, you can go to, hopefully, I think I tried to do it, but you can go to the website for International Students Picnic. So you can go there, bring your food, meet other international students. I mean, you don't have to be international students to come, but it's really good to meet the other international students to meet. So it's really a good opportunity for you. I will be there as well, so with my friends. So you can come say hi to me on Sunday. That's basically it. I think I should have been a bit earlier. So why I became the officer and why they became officer. It's like we have every February or March, we have election happening in the student union. So if you want to be a full-time subtechnical officer, it should be after you graduate, like your last year, or you have to stop interpreting your study a little bit while you're being an officer. But I strongly recommend you to run election, and you can be the voice of students, voice of international students. We have 5 full-time subtechnical officers, but I'm the only one international student. So I'm really, we are minority, but we are stronger. You don't have to be hesitate or anything. You can just do whatever you want to do. So this is main goal for me to tell you today that you can do as much as you want if you try. So probably I'm gonna later this year for election, I'm just gonna say this again, but that's how we became officers. So it's really recommend. I'm just gonna pass on to ambassador. So and we're gonna come back to Q&A session. But this is the end of my presentation. Thank you very much.
Hello everyone, nice to see you all in the International Student Talk. And Kay and I today will talk about our student experience and also share how we settled in UE before. So to begin with, let us introduce ourselves first. So I'm Nicole, I'm a Hong Kong student ambassador. And after finishing my bachelor degree in Hong Kong, I moved to London to have a working holiday. And then I moved to Norwich to pursue my master's in marketing. Now I finished my degree. And during the past year, apart from being a student ambassador, I also a course rep of my master's degree, and also I volunteer in several societies and career centers as well. Besides, I live in Ziggurat, one of the student accommodations, so if you live in there, hopefully you will enjoy the view as well. So now I will pass to Kate to introduce herself.
Hiya, I'm Kate. I do apologize for my voice in advance. I've been a bit ill, so it's gone a bit. But I am from Russia. I am an ambassador for Russia, Kazakhstan, and Azerbaijan. I am the third-year student of English Literature and Drama course, bachelor's, and I am also involved in quite a few projects. So I'm the president of the Russian-Speaking Society. I am obviously an international student ambassador. I'm a course rep. I'm also taking on different projects such as COP26 Festival. So quite a lot of stuff, very interesting. Get in contact with me if you have any questions. So we're going to go into the topics that we're going to discuss today. We're not going to follow the exact kind of like order of how it's written in the PowerPoint, but we're going to talk about all of these points which are written here. So I will start with basically homesickness. So homesickness is something that I think we all go through as international students, which is absolutely natural. And so I think that it's very important to emphasize that you are going to go through it, and it's absolutely fine, because I remember in my first year, no one really told me that I'm going to go through it through homesickness itself, and it was quite challenging. So I kind of wanted just to warn you all that it's absolutely fine. It's a natural process of moving to another country, to moving away from your parents. You know, even English students who are moving from their parents are also being homesick. And so, like, you know, for us, it's even worse, because we can't go to the weekend to our houses and everything. So it's going to be a very process for all of you, so you just have to expect that, you know, it happens, then you're going to get adjusted. It's going to be absolutely fine for you. And then also something that Ayan mentioned before, in regards to the English proficiency skills. So you're going to receive some emails in regards English proficiency skills. We are going to invite you to take courses on English, on academic writing, speaking, presenting, communicating, etc. And if English is your second language, I do really encourage you to take on these courses, because they're really helpful. My advisors have always advised me to go to this official skills, etc., because like they just really help you develop your language and just feel more confident when you are presenting yourself and when you are talking in the seminar or you're coming to lectures. So yeah, I'm passing on to you. Cool.
Thank you, Kate. So now we talk about clubs and societies. So have anyone visited the society fair yesterday? If not, you can still contact your interested society through their Instagram and Facebook. And as a reminder, today there is a sport fair at Sport Park, so feel free to join after this talk. And then also there's a lot of taster sessions in this month, so if you are interested in any society, you can check the SU website and join one or any sessions, as many sessions as you want. And as Ayan said, that there are over 200 societies in UEA, including societies from your hometown. So it may be a way for you to ease the homesickness. Apart from that, you can also join other societies from other countries to learn their culture, language, or meet new friends. And then so last year, I joined a free society, UEA TV, Research Society, and Life Y1350. And I think that this year there will be a lot of physical activities, so if you have enough time, you can as many society as you can. And apart from that, you can also be a part of a committee, so there will be a nomination around late October and early November. So it will be a good chance for you to get experience. And you can also nominate yourself as a first-year rep of your society and club. And besides, as you also organize regular activities throughout the whole year, including Christmas and semester break, so you won't feel lonely during the holiday. And So yeah, have a good time management, enjoy as many society clubs as you can, and meet more friends. Then I will talk about money saving tips, probably you were interested in it. So there are 3 tips for you. The first thing is about food. So I think it's time to learn how to cook properly, because you can't afford to pay food delivery every day or eat unhealthy microwave food every day. So what you can do is Google some easy recipe, or do your meal prep for a week or 5 days. So I think that I improved out of my baking skill during the whole year. Oven is always a good friend. And another tip is about the travel. So you can buy any bus pass. There's a discount for UEA students, which is around £200 or more. And it's convenient if you think that you'll go to city center often. Another way is you can buy a bicycle that can save your money, keep fit, and save your time as well, and also the environment. And one more thing is you can buy a rail card. So if you like traveling around the UK, having a rail card is very good for you. And if you may go to London often, you can get discounts in London Undergrads with a rail card as well. And one more thing is about shopping. Maybe some of you shopping as well. So there are a lot of shops in city center. So apart from Primark or other online shops, you can also go to charity shops as well. And there's a lot of student discounts as well, and you can join free membership in some online e-commerce sites. So I will pass you, Kate, to talk about something else.
Just before I go into the next topic, I also wanted to say that there is an International Student Society on campus as well, which I really encourage you all to join, because it's a huge community of all international students at UEA, and it's the best way to meet everyone international you can meet on campus, because really like-minded people really meet there, and many people find friends there as well. And I found a lot of my international friends there. So next one I'm going to talk about is the time management. So you will probably hear a lot people telling you, you can have a diary, you can have calendars, you can have things planned in your phone and everything. And as cliche and annoying as it sounds, it's really important, because like when you are coming from school and you are entering university, when you don't have a fixed timetable in terms of like things happening from 9 to 5 every day, it's very important to plan your time management, and in terms of how much time you're spending studying, how much time you're spending leisuring, how much time you're spending with your friends, etc. etc. So it's very important to time manage your time, essentially, and to put things in your calendar, to use your diaries and everything. So if you do not have a diary yet, I really recommend using a paper one, just because, you can wake up in the morning, just go through your day, think, okay, these are the things that I'm going to do today. And so this way, it's going to economize your time for resting afterwards, because you're going to do all your studying in advance, and then it's going just to make your life easier. So this is something I really highly recommend to look into, because I didn't look into that in my first year, and I really regret it. So please do think about that. Do think about that entering the new year. So yeah.
Thank you, Kate. And having a good time with talent management is really good, because I know that new students, you are so excited to join many activity or anything. So plan your time wisely. And then I will talk about mental health, because if you are so excited to join a lot of activity, probably you may burn out at some point. So if in case you feel burnout, you can always contact your personal advisor. You will receive an email about that this month or next month. So you can talk about your personal concern or anything with your personal advisor. And besides, you can also join the Educate Society. They specialize for mental health as well. And if you want to talk with someone, you can also call Light Life. It's a organization of lawyers. And then, so as I say that, try to balance your study and well-being. So I remember last year, I was so excited to join a lot of activity. And then I feel depressed because I can't manage my time. There's several activities in one day. So I hope that you have a good time management and take care of yourself. If you don't be afraid to ask for help, you can always ask for help from your personal advisor, your coursework, your flatmate, your lecturers, the help of your school, and anyone you feel trustworthy. Don't be shy, because we're friendly. Everyone is friendly in UEA.
Another point that we wanted to talk about, it's a bit early on to talk about this, but if you are interested in postgraduate studying, it's very important to talk to your advisors about this. However, if you are a bit scared to talk to your advisor because, you know, because of your language, because of your circumstances, something like that, you can always also contact us as ambassadors as well as international officers. So Miriam and Alex were here before. You can always contact them, ask them any questions you have, and they will be able to help you as people who also understand the struggle of being an international student at university. But equally, it's really worth speaking to your advisor in terms of your kind of like interests, academic, you know, like pursuits and everything. Even if you are unsure right now what you want to do in the future, but you are interested in academia as a field in itself, it's really worth it talking to your advisor and your professors in terms of like, I'm really interested in this field of studying, I'm very interested in this field of studying, and they can kind of guide you for the future. Say, of course, like in your first year, it's really not kind of like necessary to think about it yet, but it's just a good thing to bear in mind. I would say that the perfect time to start thinking about this is your second year, especially like around December time. You don't have to start any of your applications at this point or anything like that, but just to have your thinking coming to kind of like basic ideas of what you want to do in the future if you are interested in graduate study, around second year is going to be the best time, especially if you're aiming at any other institutions, because you will need to think about your references and this kind of stuff. So just bear this in mind, basically.
So the final tips for you is about career preparation. So money and experience is important at some point. So if you're a final year student, you should consider to apply the graduate scheme now because they start receiving applications now. But if you don't want to join any graduate scheme, there's also a graduate role throughout the whole year. And apart from that, what you can prepare right now is, you know, there are very good resources in UEA called Career Central. So you can find part-time job, volunteers work, internship there. And also there's mentoring program as well. So it's a very good chance for you to talk to professionals. So check the Career Central website after this talk. And another thing is that you can gain your experience is to be a committee of a society or club. Even if you can't be a committee, you can also ask for being a volunteer work as well. It's like I didn't able to get a committee last year, but I still asked for being a volunteer. And another way that you can find job is through social media. So I think there's a lot of Facebook group, Instagram or something else. So check social media to find part-time experience. Another good thing is you can talk to the career advisor, so you can find how to connect with the career advisor through the Career Central. And also is that another thing is to do networking, so you can connect with alumni through LinkedIn as well. So LinkedIn is very popular in UK. And lastly, don't be afraid to ask for opportunities and help again. So that's the end of our sharing, and welcome to UEA again. And now there is Q&A sessions, and if you have any questions, you can ask us or SU officers as well.
Do you have any questions? Like any, you might think that's stupid, but it's not. Go for it.
You can look at the SU website and everything will be there. All Instagram pages.
Any other question? No? You sure?
You sure?
Okay, good. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
coordinating chapter for the Faith Centre, and this is a short talk about buckets, stools, and being yourself. And I have 4 things to tell you about. The first 2 are there in the title. It's the bucket and the stool. So if I can see a bucket, oh, there, marvellous, there we go. The bucket is there because when I was first in ministry, it wasn't in a university, it was in a prison. I was there as a chaplain, by the way. I wasn't there for another reason. In the prison. You probably haven't been to prison, but if you do go for any reason whatsoever, the one thing you'll notice, it is a really, really miserable place. And the first day that I was in prison, I could just feel it. I could feel it. It was like a rain of unhappiness coming down and falling around me and seeping out of the walls and the ceilings. And there was me, the chaplain, and I only had one bucket to try and catch it all, metaphorically speaking. And it seemed to me obvious at that moment that my bucket was not going to be big enough to catch it all, and indeed was never ever going to be big enough to catch it all. So what was I going to do? Because I could get a bigger bucket, but then am I actually going to be able to hold on to it and carry it? Or I could find a way of somehow getting the water out of the bucket and draining it and make sure it doesn't overflow and spill me and everyone else. And being a person of faith, I saw the problem of the bucket in terms of my faith. So to my mind, the only person who can make my bucket bigger is God, and the only person who can really get rid of what's in the bucket is God. So that brings me to one of my favorite saints, St. Augustine, who says, St. Augustine says this is what happens when we pray. He compares the human heart, when it is overburdened, to a vessel full of sour vinegar. And he says, prayer drains the heart of vinegar and allows God to fill it with his honey. So that's the job of our prayer life when it works properly. So vinegar out and honey in. Okay? That's the equation, or it should be. Now, how do we relate this to what we do at university? Well, obviously, being at university is not like being in prison. And I have to say that straight away. It's definitely not like being in prison. But we still do need to look after ourselves. We have a lot of demands being made upon us, demands made by our academic studies, demands made by the everyday tasks of life, quite a few of which we won't have done by ourselves before, and the demands that we make upon ourselves. Am I a good enough person? Am I clever enough? Do I have enough friends? Do I have to change and become something else or someone else in order to do everything I have to do now that I'm here on campus? So all of these demands and responsibilities, only the one bucket to hold it in. How do I stop the bucket overflowing? How do I drain it? How do I let it all go? So I'm going to try and answer that. I'm going to take my second thing of my talk, which is the stool or the tripod. There we go. Very simple PowerPoint. We're not allowed, I said this before actually, we're not allowed to have moving pictures or sound or stuff, so this is super simple, which suits me actually. We all know the image of the tripod. You have the 3 legs, and you need to have 3 legs because if you miss one of them, it gets wonky and it all falls over. We know this, don't we? Okay. So we talk about well-being in terms of a tripod. So we have physical well-being, which should be on our left leg. There we go, marvelous. Which you can do in your daily life, or you can also do it on campus at the sports park. Then we have mental well-being on our middle leg, which you can do in your daily life, and you should do, but you can also do through mental health services at student services. And then finally we have spiritual well-being, our third leg, which you can do in your daily life and also at the Faith Centre on campus. So we have the 3 things working together. Physical, mental and spiritual well-being all working together to support us. Now, not everyone relies equally on the different legs. Some of us don't like sport, for example. Some of us, I was thinking, when I said this the other day, I was thinking about my daughter who hates sport. My daughter is the kind of person, when she likes is football and she runs away from the ball. That's the kind of sport she likes. But actually, she found out recently there's one sport she's really good at, which is dodgeball, because you have to run away from the ball. I think it's a beautiful paradox there. Now, the thing about my daughter is, although she does not like playing sport, she does not stop other people doing it. And this is a good lesson for us on campus, that if you yourself are not a person of faith, or you don't understand faith, we don't stop other people practicing it, or frown on them, or look down on them. And we're very keen on people being supported in the practice of their faith, which means that it's okay at UEA to be Christian, to be Catholic, to be Muslim, to be Buddhist, whatever, okay? And by the same token, we say to people of faith, don't be afraid to practice. Don't get worried about practicing it. It's part of who you are. It will help you immensely. It will help you drain the bucket and keep it empty, or at least emptier. And most importantly of all, it is part of who you are as a person. So when we say don't be afraid to practice your faith, we also mean don't be afraid to be yourself. And that's really important. And this is my third thing in my talk. Third thing of four, which is being yourself. Actually, I don't have a slide for this because it seemed to me if I put be yourself in big letters on a slide, it wouldn't actually make you be yourself. But it's very important. There's a saying you may know in university life, that you spend your second year at university getting rid of all the friends you made in the first year. Not because they're terrible people, but because we tend not to be ourselves in the first year. Because the pressure of being first year tends to make us lead inauthentic lives. Not being ourselves, which sometimes means making friends with people who actually don't fit us and fit the people we are. So part of the challenge of the first year is just being yourself. And as I say, if you are a person of faith, it is part of who you are, so don't be afraid to practice it. The place, this is my fourth, and the place where we practice it on campus is the Faith Centre, which is my next slide. There it is, which is just down here in the main square. You can't miss it. It is one of the most peaceful places on campus. It's a place it's a place that people care for. There was some research done a few years ago by a graduate student who found that of all the communal areas in the university, one of the best looked after was the Faith Centre. People look after the space. And that tells you something about the place. It's a place where people respect and care for themselves and for each other and for the places. So in the Faith Centre there are two floors, upper floor, lower floor. Upstairs are prayer rooms where nothing happens but prayer and meditation and worship. So no teaching, no meetings, no nothing, just prayer, meditation and worship. And then downstairs we have a common room, we have a kitchen. That's us on pancake night making pancakes. And anyone can go there. You don't actually have to be a person of faith. Everyone's welcome. And it's just a beautiful, calm space where people go to chill out. It's one of the really popular places, by the way, to have your lunch, because you've got a kitchen and a microwave and you can just sit and look out on the square. But the reason it's calm and serene is because it is a kind of sacred space, because of the prayers and the meditation and the worship going on, all of this spiritual activity in the building, which starts to seep out of the walls, just like misery was seeping out of the walls of my prison, only the kind of opposite side of the equation. Or if we go back to my quotation from St. Augustine, this is the building where God puts the honey on campus. So just a quick slide on what goes on in the Faith Centre. This is just a typical week. I'll just run through very quick. So Monday, Unitarian meeting. Tuesday, Christian Medical Fellowship, Quaker meeting. Wednesday, an Anglican Eucharist, Hindu worship, Catholic Mass. Thursday, Catholic Mass, Sikh worship, Chinese Christian Fellowship, Buddhist meditation, Juma Friday prayers, and Catholic Mass on Sunday. And the common room and the kitchen are open every day of the week during the weekday. So that's my introduction to the Faith Centre. If you've got any questions, just grab me in a moment afterwards, or talk to Sister Teresa here, who's also one of the chaplains. And have a great welcome week. Have a great year. Be yourself. God bless you.